Alright, bass video, Factoring Quadratics. Quick and the dirty is coming right here. So I'm trying to factor this quadratic. What makes it a quadratic is the fact that it has an x squared term. Okay? So when you get quadratics that look like this, they have three terms. The first is the x squared. Notice there is no number in front of x, just a 1. Okay? So as long as it's just 1 in front of x and it has three terms like this, you can factor them this way. It's a shortcut. Alright? So what you're trying to figure out, basically, this is like the opposite of that double distribution. You're trying to turn this into the thing that looks like this right here when we were just double distributing. You're doing the opposite. Alright? So there's a shortcut to do this. You do what I call an x chart. You put this middle term at the top, -3. You put the third term at the bottom, -10. Alright? And on this, you need to add up and you need to multiply down. You have to find the two numbers, go here, that if I add them together, I get a -3, and if I multiply them together, I get a -10. Usually start with the multiplying, okay? What times what can I multiply to get 10? Well, I could do 1 and 10 to get a 10, but there's no way I could add 1 and 10 to get a 3. I could do 2 and 5 to get a 10, and there's something I can do with 2 and 5 to get a 3. So that's going to be my option. So I know I need to work with 2 and 5. Now I got to work with my signs. I need this 3 to be negative, so I need the 5 to be negative. 2 times -5 is -10. 2 plus -5 is -3. Here's my answer. So that means this factors to x plus 2 times x minus 5. This is the opposite of that double distribution. Let me show you how this brings me back here. Remember, x times x gives me x squared. X times -5 gives me -5x. 2 times x gives me 2x. And 2 times -5 gives me -10. When I combine my like terms, -3x minus 10x squared brings me back to my original. These are the same thing. This is the factored form. This is the multiplied out form. So I'm just moving backwards. Okay? And I can use this chart to help. Let's do another example. Get rid of these numbers. Let's go ahead and say we're going to factor x squared plus 11x plus 10. Okay, why don't you go ahead and try to do that one on your own. Alright, so I'm looking here. I know it's going to look like that double distribution. 11 goes on top, 10 goes on the bottom. And we're going to add up and then multiply down. Start with the down. What can I multiply to get 10? 1 and 10. Can I turn a 1 and a 10 and add them to get 11? Yes, I can. Boom. 1 times 10 is 10. 1 plus 10 is 11. Just did it. X plus 11 times x plus 10. I'm completed. I just factored that, not polynomial, what's that thing? Quadratic. I just factored that quadratic. Do one more example for you. Says x squared plus x minus 72. Okay? I'm going to factor it. Got 1 in front of x, so that's looking good. I have 3 terms. That's looking good with the x term in the middle. Alright, so let me see. Put my 1 here, put my -72 down here. Add up, multiply down. What times what equals 72? 1 times 72, what is it? 8 times 9, 72? Alright, I need this to be a -72. And when I add them, I need it to be a positive. So I'm going to make 8 negative. -8 times 9 is -72. -8 plus 9 is 1. X minus 8, x plus 9. Factoring in a nutshell. Good times, y'all.